Welcome to Module 3, an Introduction to Translational Science. In this presentation, we will begin talking about translational science and why it is important to science and health. Take a minute or two to answer the following questions. Where do you see yourself working? What sort of job do you want? What do you see yourself doing? Will you be working by yourself or will you be working with a group of individuals? Now take a minute and look at the list of methods below for disseminating research. Of the methods listed below used to disseminate, circulate, or publicize research findings, which do you think generally has the most impact on a researcher or faculty member's academic career? Now, while referring to the same list, which of the methods listed do you think has the most impact on public health or medical practice or policy? Which do you think doctors and other practitioners use to get their information? Did your answers match? Here are the results of a survey which looked at the top 4 ways that practitioners learn about research findings and the top 4 ways that researchers perceive they most effectively get information out. What do you notice? There is a clear discrepancy between how research is being disseminated by researchers and how practitioners are getting their information. What does this mean? Clearly, this means that the science is not reaching the people who need it the most. As a result of this discrepancy, we find that most of the conducted research ends up in some virtual warehouse, on a shelf never to be used. We hope, as researchers, that our work is read by other scientists and that the work is utilized and expanded on. However, how much of the even published work ends up in practice actually benefiting individuals on a large scale? So what is the problem? Why doesn't most of the research conducted make it to a public health impact? There are a couple reasons for this lack of translation. The first is that new research takes too long to get adopted. How long do you think it takes for new scientific discoveries to enter day-to-day clinical practice? 17 years. It takes 17 years for only 14% of the new scientific discoveries to enter practice. In addition, only 5% of highly promising basic science findings were licensed for clinical use, and only 1% were actually used for the license indication. Does this mean that basic science is useless? No, not at all. However, in many cases, the research conducted is not aligned to address critical health or healthcare problems. In addition, providers lack tools or technical assistance to implement effective treatments. Many research facilities have state-of-the-art equipment that is not available to most practitioners. In addition, a number of large research projects and programs are being rolled out without adequate planning to maximize effectiveness and learning. The research questions are too narrow and/or do not include implementation and dissemination with efficacy and effectiveness. Finally, the variation in care and the need for patient-centered care make treatment development difficult. Treatments work differently for different people, but efficiency is a problem. In response to these identified problems, a series of discussions led to the NIH Roadmap for Medical Research. The roadmap is a collection of far-reaching initiatives designed to transform the nation's medical research capabilities and improve the translation of research into practice. As described on the slide, the roadmap consists of 3 major themes. The first is the new pathways to discovery. The purpose of the new pathways to discovery is to develop new technologies to help researchers studying the biological pathways and networks that facilitate communication among genes, molecules, and cells. One of the central components of these networks is the set of proteins encoded by an organism's genes